Hi, my name's Pippa and this is my chronic pain recovery story. So in 2017, I was in so much pain that I couldn't walk my own dogs around the block. I had been in pain really probably since about 2013, 2014, and I at 2017 didn't know anything about SIRPA or the fact that I was going to recover from fibromyalgia at that point. My chronic pain story really starts in the middle, and it actually starts with really bad chronic fatigue. And I thought I was just a bit stressed. I wasn't sleeping terribly well. I had blood tests. My cortisol levels were really high. But there was nothing wrong. The test didn't show anything wrong. And so essentially I went home from the doctors and just kind of got on with it. The chronic pain really started probably in the next year, and it was persistent pain and it was severe. It used to feel like the muscles were going to tear off the bone. I mean, it was, this is real severe pain that you're experiencing. And as an osteopath, at that point in time, I was putting this down to, mechanical, biomedical causes. There must be something wrong in that local area, particularly my lower back. But as time went by, there was nothing found, and I did have an MRI scan, and that said that there was degenerative disc disease all the way from my pelvis up to the base of my neck. But that didn't really explain the other symptoms. It didn't explain the pain in my knees, the pain in my hips, the plantar fasciitis, the fact that I couldn't lift my arms up to put the washing on the line because they hurt so much. It didn't explain the jaw pain. It didn't explain the fatigue really, and it didn't explain the brain fog. It didn't explain the anxiety. So there was this whole mishmash of things that at that point I kind of wasn't even really putting them together myself. And I was a healthcare practitioner, or I am a healthcare practitioner. And so it wasn't really until I'd had other blood tests to rule I had a vitamin D deficiency. And so that was explaining the symptoms for a while. But then when I took vitamin D, that didn't make the symptoms go away. I'd had some fantastic physical treatment from osteopaths that only lasted for 24, 48 hours, if that. I tried everything. And then in 2017, partly on a personal level and partly on a professional level, I went to the SIRPA conference. SIRPA stands for the Stress Illness Recovery Practitioners Association. And they had a conference in London called Chronic Pain, the Role of Emotions. And it was a life-changing day for me, not only personally, but actually professionally as well. And suddenly in this room, there were doctors from across the world and other healthcare professionals who understood the pain that I was experiencing. They could put all the symptoms together. They put them all in the same pot. And they gave me hope because they understood it and they knew how to change it. As I say, it was absolutely life-changing. And for many, well, not for many, but for some people, there's a sort of a real epiphany moment that their pain actually goes away with this knowledge. And I actually had a pain-free day the first day after that conference. And I then thought, well, okay, I can, I've got this information now. I know where to look. I can find this. So I read John Sarno's book, The Mind-Body Prescription, and I read Georgie Oldfield's book, Chronic Pain, Your Key to Recovery. And those definitely made a difference. But actually, I did end up seeing a SIRPA practitioner myself, because I needed somebody else to help me unpick the story, all the parts of it. And what I realise now is that actually my chronic pain story goes back, well, really a lifetime. There are things that are in my journey that have all added up to be a load in my life backpack, in my chronic pain backpack, that are all, important. And it was when somebody helped me to understand what influence those had on my nervous system and why my nervous system was responding in the way that it was, that I realised that this was not a musculoskeletal issue solely. It was to do with what was going on in the neural circuits, the neural pathways, and actually that I could change that. And the SIRPA techniques empowered me to change that. And so, as I say, in 2017, I couldn't walk dogs around the block. In 2022, I climbed Britain's 3 highest peaks Ben Nevis, Scaffold Pike and Snowdon in 1 week. Now, I thought in 2017 I was never going to get off the sofa. I thought I was going to be in that position for the rest of my life. And actually, one of the biggest things that the SIRPA approach has done for me is actually allowed me to get rid of the fear of my pain. It's not there forever. It's not something terrible going on in the tissues, but it is something that needs addressing. It needs looking at, it needs understanding. And then when you're given the tools and techniques to be able to deal with it without the fear, it's absolutely life-changing. So I wouldn't say that I'm 100% pain-free all of the time, but actually 98% of the time I'm pretty much pain-free. And if I do have a pain flare or something comes up, I know that that means there's something I need to look at, something I've got to address, something that's, you know, stressing my system in some way or another. And as I say, it's been incredibly empowering. And it's completely changed the way that we run the practice at Osteopathy for All. We incorporate all of these techniques now and making this amazing difference to lots of other people as well. So if you're suffering with chronic pain, then I'd highly recommend that you have a look at this mind-body approach. It's not all in your head, but you do need to use the methods of understanding why your brain is dysregulated, your nervous system is dysregulated and producing pain, and it will make a phenomenal difference.